Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Kyle here. With the Jets' unfortunate end to season number 2 here, the defending Stanley Cup champions were eliminated unceremoniously by the Vancouver Canucks. President's Trophy winners as well, we were in this season, but unfortunately we could not maintain our magic from year number 1, so out in round 2 to the Canucks, and that'll be the end of this series for now, at least with the Jets. As I did in last year's game, NHL 25 with the Sens. There are a lot of teams that I'd like to do franchises with and win Stanley Cups, so I'm going to keep these short as I can at least. So my goal and going forward, what I'll do as I've done with these last 2 series is win the Cup, and then from there try and win as many in a row as possible, and if we lose, then that will be it. So with the Jets, obviously got maybe a little lucky, but we won the Cup in year 1. Hopefully you watched that if you're watching this video, and then year 2, as mentioned, no such luck in repeating. So in this one, this will be the wrap up of the Jets franchise again for now, as I've said. We'll see as we get towards the end of the year, towards the time when NHL 27 comes out, where we are with other series. And if there is not enough time to start a new team, then I may circle back and do a longer video with the Jets and try to get a couple more years in, or with whatever other teams that I have done throughout the year. So yeah, we'll go through, take a look at our top guys. Most of the team is the same as it was when we started, because again, we're just 2 years in. But yeah, let's have a look and start with the lineup here. So obviously we had Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele, who were our leaders in many ways. They performed well in this playoff. Connor had 10 points in 6 games. Scheifele had 8, playing 25 minutes a game, so they were workhorses throughout. But yeah, in our 2 seasons with them, Kyle Connor, 50 goals both years, 98 points in year number 1, and 115 in this past year. And then in the playoffs, the year we won, he had 26 points in 24 games, and this year 10 points in 6. So definitely a strong playoff performer. A little bit weaker goals-wise, but we were pretty bad in general in this series. But yeah, would have been interesting to see how well they could do. Scheifele getting a little older, obviously, but still an elite player. Year 1 for him, 30 goals, 60 assists, 92 points. And then this year he had a huge jump, nearly 50 goals and 115 points as well for him. And in the playoffs, he had 33 points, won the Conn Smythe. And then, as mentioned, 8 points in 6 games there. Gabe Vilardi, who was on the first line with them for both years, he didn't do much in this playoffs, unfortunately, but in the regular season he was solid. More of a passing guy this year than last, but 70 points in both seasons, which is great, plus 40-ish there as well. And then in the playoffs, last year he was solid point per game. This year he fell off quite a bit, and that was a big reason why we lost, I think, because outside of Scheifele and Connor, the rest of the team did not do too much. Cole Perfetti didn't really grow like I'd hoped. I mean, I guess, top 6 forward potential, which he was a top 6 forward. So he was pretty decent for us in that role. Secondary scoring, about 20 goals, 30 assists, 50 points both years. Can't ask for too much more out of him, so he was decent in his role. Better this year than last in the playoffs. Last year he did not do much. -6 in both years though, so yeah, -6 in 6 games is pretty brutal. Yeah, Ryan O'Reilly, who we picked up at last year's trade deadline, he was a solid acquisition for us. Keep exiting out of that there. With us the back half of last year, 14 points in 21 games, and then this year actually scored at a higher clip, for us at least, but 60 points in both years if you include the time in Nashville. And yeah, he was solid as our second line center. we got him to bring a bit of offense to that second line, which he did, obviously, 60 points. And then face-offs, fantastic, 57 if you round up, and then 58% this year. And then playoff-wise, 10 points in 24 games last year. But again, just 2 points in 6 games this year for him. Rounding out the second line, Patrick Laine, who we signed as a free agent this year. He was great for us, 30 and 30 basically. Only shooting 12%, so if that was a little higher, maybe could have been a 40-goal guy. But second line with some second unit power play time, he was a solid acquisition for us. And what did we sign him to? I believe it was 2 more years at $4 million. Pretty good for him at 29 years old. Okay, third line, Pius Suter we acquired at this year's trade deadline. And for us, he didn't do much points-wise, but he was also -2, so not ideal because we got him to be a defensive-minded player. But he did have half a point per game for us in these playoffs, so better than some of our top guys. So it is what it is. Plus player as well in the playoffs. So maybe a full season out of him would be a little bit better defensively. But we'll wait and see on that if we do end up doing that. Adam Lowry, our captain, had 2 goals in this playoff run. Regular season fell off a little bit, but that was due to mostly second line time in that first year, 39 points, and then this year 30 points. But 30 points plus 7 on the third line is pretty good. Shot 16% and 53% on the faceoffs. So solid there. Great leader, obviously. In real life, I don't know how well that translates in the game, but he's got the X factor, so maybe it does. 5 points in last year's run and 2 goals, as mentioned in this year, shooting 25%. So everyone's kind of around these 1 or 2 points, but he's the only guy aside from those top guys who really scored it all. So he did what he could with limited time. And then Brad Lambert, rookie season this year for him, 28 points, decent there on the third line, -2, but third line was kind of getting picked on a little bit there. So, not too shabby out of him. Would be interesting to see him grow in the playoffs. Once again, not very much, just the 1 assist. But yeah, he could potentially grow into a top 6 forward. Low elite potential, 3 more years of growth. So, see what happens out of him in the future. And then fourth line, these guys were pretty decent for us. IFL, no points in the playoffs, but he had 30 this year, 30 last year. I think he had third line time last year, yeah. So he was actually even better this year on the fourth line. And then in the playoffs, as we saw, nothing there. Taves, 30 points out of him as well. -5 though, which is not ideal, but that's okay. Playoffs, not much out of him either, but fourth line, don't expect a ton. And then Morgan Barron, 2 points, as with most of these guys. He only played 63 games. He had 17 points, so kind of around that 30-point-ish mark. So offensively, regular season, we were pretty good everywhere, but everyone except for Scheifele and Connor really fell off in the playoffs. So that's that. Defensively, Josh Morrissey was an absolute stud for us. He came very close to winning the Norris this year, just shy of Cale Makar points-wise. Nearly 20 goals, though, and last year had a great season as well with 60 points. Career year for him this year, plus 21 as well is great, and 200 shots is pretty solid from a defenseman. So would be awesome to see him continuously grow. The playoffs as well, he was, again, kind of fell off, -6 and only half a point per game when he was point per game last year. So kind of a trend with our offensive players. Dylan DeMello, no points and a -6, but he was decent for us, 20-point-ish guy. plus player, playing alongside Morrissey the last 2 years, and he was actually pretty good in that first year in our cup run. And then Pionk, our other offensive defenseman, he had a great year. 60 points the last 2 years as kind of a secondary guy is fantastic. And then in the playoffs, he was the only guy aside from Connor and Scheifele who was doing something point per game out of him, so can't ask for too much more there. Dylan Sandberg, who played with Pionk, 20 points and a plus player in the regular season. And then in the playoffs, once again, not much offense happening there. And then lastly, we revamped our bottom six at the trade deadline. Ian Cole, for us, 20 games, 5 points and a plus player. In the playoffs, 2 goals. So he kind of like Adam Lowry had a couple goals there. He was the only one who was kind of a secondary scorer for us, which is not ideal if you're, third most goals is coming from Ian Cole. So that was maybe a reason why we lost. And then Lyubushkin, who we picked up as well at the deadline, just 2 points with us in 21 games, but a plus 10. And in the playoffs, same thing. No offense there. Lastly, our best player, or who should have been our best player, Connor Hellebuyck, likely wins the Vezina again this year. I forget if he did win it the first year. No, he didn't actually. But another great season out of him. Kind of similar to real life, right? Like a 9. I don't think he's had less than a 9-10 save percentage. Yeah, since 10 years basically. Just a stud in the regular season. And then playoffs, he was fantastic for us in both runs. Just didn't get the goal support, right? I mean, 4 losses, obviously, but he played fantastic. So can't ask for much more out of him. Still a franchise goalie, so he could give us a couple more good years, definitely. And then we had Eric Comrie for both years as the backup. He was pretty decent, 22 games in both seasons, around a 9-10 with just under 3 goals against. And in the playoffs, he didn't play at all in this last year, but in the year we won the cup, he played a game. He lost, but he was great in that game. I think that was a game in relief where Hellebuyck got yanked. Must have been because only 18 shots against. 33 minutes. So not a lot of playing time for him, but he was good when he did. And that is it for the main roster. We'll take a look now, I guess, at maybe some of our upcoming guys who may jump into roles in the future if we do continue. This guy, Vorobiev, who we drafted last year, 6th round, low elite, so a good pull there. See if he turns into something. Braden Yeager could potentially make the team next year if he has a growth. And then aside from that, not a ton. Abdelkader and Frey, still don't know how to pronounce that guy's name. Couple years away for him and a few years away from Abdelkader. And then this guy, Hakanson, potential as well. 67 overall at 19 is pretty promising. And other than that, just a bunch of top 9 guys and top 6 D-men. So not a ton in the cupboards prospect-wise. Goaltending, we did trade for Sebastian Kosa. So he potentially would fill in as the backup next year, maybe get a couple years of growth out of him, but at 77 already and 24, likely not much higher than he is now. So not really too much in terms of prospects. So why don't we just sim ahead to the draft, see who retired, and then we'll likely end it there. Again, for now, we'll see at the end of the year when it gets to August, September, what we're looking like in terms of time, where we're at with the series that we're currently doing, and if we come back to the Jets, maybe for years 3 through 5, do a big push there, a longer video. Could potentially do that, but Connor Hellebuyck won the Vezina as I thought he did, so that's awesome there. Great season out of him. Top player, obviously. And the Tampa Bay Lightning win the Stanley Cup. Year 2, that makes sense. They probably have most of their top guys still. And yeah, we'll just see again who retired. So the Islanders win the draft lottery again. Utah jumps huge as well. That's crazy. Jersey falls from 1 to 3. Interesting. So let's see if anybody interesting retired here. Nick Backstrom. Corey Perry finally retires at 42. Erik Karlsson retires at 37. Roman Josi, wow, at 37 as well. Torrey Krug. Jakob Silfverberg, who has retired in real life. Jack Johnson. Yeah, so not a ton. No real, top end players. But, Corey Perry, Backstrom, Karlsson, even Josi, probably Hall of Famers. So a good crop there. And then goaltenders, James Reimer and Jack Campbell. Okay. So that will be it for the Winnipeg Jets for this iteration, at least. We'll end it here. Again, as I've said, maybe we'll come back. But if this is it, and if you've watched all this way, all 10 episodes, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. Hope you enjoyed our Cup win in year number 1. And we tried in year number 2. Obviously a bit of a disappointing year, getting bounced in round 1, but that's how hockey is sometimes, right? So the next series I won't give away right now. You'll have to wait till that video comes out next week for that, but I'll give you a hint. It will be another team who is yet to win a Stanley Cup. It will be an Eastern team, and it will be a team with a very, very long cup drought. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in that next video.